Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss query parameters in Power BI. Okay, so far what I discussed is how we can load the data from various sources. Okay, so now once you load the data, okay, sometimes you might need to filter the data. While reading the data, while fetching the data from various sources, you might need to filter the data. Okay, and while filtering the data, okay, you can filter the data in Power Query Editor, as you can see on the screen. Okay, instead of that, what I will do, I will load one data set so that I can show you how you can do that. I will pick this data set. Okay, and I will go to the transform data since I would like to discuss parameter. Parameters are created in only Power Query Editor. Okay, suppose I would like to filter the data on the basis of segment or country or city or state or region. Okay, any of the categorical, not only the categorical, you can filter the data on date column, based on date column, and number columns also. So what I want to do is I would like to filter the data based on regions. Okay, suppose we have a regions in this, right? So I would like to filter the data based on this. So what we can do is we can go here and we can go to equals to, and then if we put the value here is, this is going to work. After that, I will make some other transformation. Okay, so like removing rows or unnecessary columns, whatever. This I don't want customer ID for the analysis. Customer name I don't want. Then I don't want country. Okay, I don't want countries, city details. Then postal code I don't want. Okay, region I want. Categories I would like to have it. Okay, but product details. So these are the unnecessarily columns. Okay, not necessary columns for me. So city I don't want. Country I don't want. Customer name, customer ID I don't want. Okay, and delivery date I don't want. Okay, so what I will do, I will perform the operation to remove the columns. What are the number of columns I have selected? Those columns have got removed now. Okay, and now I would like to apply the filter. I think we already applied the filter. Yes, we have applied the filter on the region, and we have a data. But this is what we can say the static filter. Okay, every time, whenever if you want to change this filter, if you want to change this filter, okay, so you need to come on this step, and then you can go here, and then you can replace the value, right, from east to south, and you can say okay, and this will filter. Since this is a small data set, it is possible. Okay, but whenever we have a large data set, the preview will not get loaded for the longer time. So that time, this operation is time consuming. And if you go and filter the data like this, okay, as we did now, it is a problem. Okay, so to avoid this, to overcome this situation, we have a concept called parameters. Okay, parameters. So what is mean by parameter? Basically, if you came from the what we can say that programming background, so parameter is equal to variable. I can say what you can do using parameter. You can store the value, store the value. Okay, store the value inside a named variable. Okay, and that name can be used anywhere. Okay, that name can be used anywhere to perform the certain action, or that name is going to contain the value, whatever the value you have stored. That value will be used in a Power Query. So this is actually a parameter. Parameter is simply mean stored value. Let me remove this. So we are going to store the value, but how to create a parameter? Okay. And what is the use meaning? We can use the parameter to filter the data. First use is to filter the data. And second use is to change the data source also. Okay. That I will discuss everything in detail. So now I would like to create the parameter. How to create a parameter? Click on the query. Click on the query. You can right click on it and we don't have, I thought convert to parameter. Okay, this option is different. Okay, so if you want to create a parameter, you can go to this option here. You can see on the screen that this option is called manage parameters. Okay, and this option is here. You will get an option to create a new parameter or edit your existing parameter, or to manage. Manage meaning delete or edit, these kinds of operations you can perform. Since I don't have any already built parameter, I'm going to create a new parameter. Okay, so you need to rename these, or you give the specific name to this parameter. I will say region. Okay, and just to, I can say filter region. Okay, region data. So this is how I can simply add the description. You can add as per your convenience. Type of value can be, you can prefer any. Okay, any, if you select, you can enter the any type of value. You can enter decimals, you can enter date times, then you can enter text, you can enter binary values. Okay, so this is how it works, but I will select any. Or if you want to sure that the data type of the region always comes in text format, so you can select text also. Okay, next we have options. So we have three options in suggested value. Is any value. If you select any value, it will allow you to enter the any value. Okay, if you select list of values, it will ask you to enter the multiple values at the time of creating a variable, and it will create a list, and you can pick the value from that list only. Okay, you will not be able to enter the value other than list. So you can put the limitations on your parameter value by using list of value. If you want to get the list from another query, you can do that also. So I will show you all those three, how to use this. So for now, I will change the region to east. Okay, and I will say okay. So current value, what is my current value? Current value is east. Now if I come here and if I go to the filter, okay, if I go to the filter and here, instead of using ABC, meaning any value, if you select parameter, you will get an option for region. Okay, since there is only one parameter, we are getting only one parameter name called region. If you have multiple parameters, you will get a list of multiple parameters. And I will say, okay. Now you can see that the data, my data is sorted, sorry, so not sorted, I mean filtered to east region, whatever region I have. If I go here and if I change this to north, okay, and if I say enter, you will see that there is no data, meaning there is no region called north, right? So let me see what are the different regions we have. East, central, south, okay, west. So we don't have north, that's why. So I will say west, yes. And if I come here, you can see that your data gets sorted automatically for best region. So what is the benefit of this? What is the actually why we created, or instead of going here and editing the filter? So as I said, if your data set is larger, this preview will not get loaded much faster. Okay, and it will take a time, and you need to wait for 10 minutes or even more than that. Instead of doing that, what you can do, you can create a parameter. You can use these parameters to filter the data. You can simply come here and change the value to your interesting value. Okay, and simply say close and apply. That query will get loaded again. Okay, and you need to wait till the data get loaded. And now what I will do, I will create some visuals, okay, so that we can see actually the region wise values. Okay, so let me bring this to this much size. So I will select region. Automatically, it will got picked in x-axis. Okay, based on your type of chart, and I will say sales. So values will be picked in y-axis. Okay, and we can see that visuals are created for south region. Now, what I will do, I will go to the data. I mean, Power Query Editor. And here I will change the region to east. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to change the actual query. I don't need to wait for much time. I will simply say east, and my all the visuals will get refreshed for the selected region. This is how filter works, a parameter works in Power BI. It helps you to filter the data in query editor. Okay, and we can say that we can filter the data dynamically. Okay, this is not a static. We can change the value anytime, right? So we can say, and it is the very similar to the variable in any of the programming language if you are familiar with programming language. Otherwise, you can consider that it is a reference that is used to store the value, and that reference can be used to filter the data. Okay. Another type of parameter that I would like to show you is, if I go to a new parameter, okay, we are going to create a new parameter, and I will say regions, okay, or I will say region list. And here I will pick the list of value, and it allow you to enter the value. Okay, so you are going to put the restriction on user entered values or current values. Okay, I will say south, then west. Okay, so I want someone should filter the values based on the region of these three values. Okay, I don't want to filter the value based on any other region. So I can use this. I can create a parameter with the list of values. Simply, I will pick the default value. Default value is not going to matter. Okay, matter is of your current value, and I will say okay. Okay, the moment you create a list type parameter, it will not allow you to enter the value. Okay, you can see that even if you can enter the value, that is, it is showing a pop-up. Okay, so you are supposed to enter the value out of the three only. Okay, and if I say north, okay, this will no, but you get a drop down to select the value. Okay, you get a drop down list, and out of this you can select any region. Okay, and this is a one of the way to put the restriction, or very easily you can change the value every time entering the value. Instead of that, you can simply select the value. Is again very much beautiful feature, and I will say close and apply. Now my data will get refreshed. My visuals will get refreshed for the south region. Okay, this is not working because we have not used the region list in our parameter, right? We used the region list only. So I'm going to use the region list now. And where is my region column? So instead of, I will go to the filter. Okay, I will open the filter, and what I will do, instead of this parameter, I will select another parameter called region list. Now, if you close and refresh, you will see the visuals are refreshed on the basis of your current value. On the basis of your current value. Okay, it is still loading, and visual is refreshed for south region. Okay, so this is how it works Another type of, or you can create a list from query. How we can create a list from query, something I will show you. Okay. You would like to filter the data on the basis of this south region. So we have already filtered the data, but again, you would like to add one more, what we can say, parameter that can be used to filter the state, right? Regions may have multiple states, so we can use that also. You can use segment, ship mode as per the your wishes. Okay. I will go here and I will say, okay, but instead of that, first what we need the list from query. So what I will do, I will create a duplicate of this. Okay. And I will say state list. State list. So this is how I'm going to create a list. I will remove, okay, I will select this column and I will say remove other column. So this is my list of states, and I'm going to convert this list to, this column to a list so that it can be used like parameter. Okay. I will, what you need to do, you need to go to the transform tab and just click on convert to list. It will get converted. Okay. You can remove the duplicates, right? You can remove the duplicates from this column because we don't need the duplicate value, that there will not be any use. Okay. And now we have a list of states, and we can use this list of state as an parameter. Okay, while creating a parameter, how to create a parameter, go to the manage parameter, select new parameter. We are going to create another type of parameter called state list. Okay. And only one parameter can be used at a time. Okay, we cannot use multiple parameters at the same time. A query named state list already exists. So oh, query is exists. That's why it is showing. I will say list state. Okay, this is how I will. Instead of using or entering the values, I will select query. Okay, and here you will get an option of that name, whatever the list is created from the query. So all the lists you will get. Okay, and I will enter current value as Virginia. So you are supposed to enter at least one value as current value. Okay, so this is your value. So now we can use this list of states to filter the data. If I go to state and if I try to apply the filter, okay, equals to, and if I select this parameter, okay, we can select multiple parameters also. Instead of these regions, I will say state list. State list. But I don't want to use, I am happy with only one parameter. So I will say okay. And yes, this is what a Virginia. Data got filtered for Virginia. Now we can enter the another city name called, okay, let me say test. There is no city with this name, so data will not get filtered, right? So what is the list? Sorry, state list. So you can say Florida. Okay. And yes, so this is how it works, and you will get your data will get filtered for the current state, whatever the state you have entered here. So if you go to the manage parameter, okay, state list, and yes, there is only one way to enter the value, and your data get filtered for any of the region, any of the states based on this. So these are the three. Any, you can manually enter the value. Okay, then you can convert the query list. Okay, you can create a list and select the values from drop down. Similarly, while editing, I think yes. Okay, if I go to the state, okay, where we have applied the filtered rows one, state list. Yes. Right. So these are the way to create parameter. This is what the use of parameter. It was only about the filtering data. Okay, it was only about the filtering data. So now how we can use parameter to change the data source. Okay, let me wait until this gets loaded. Okay. Okay. So suppose if you want to change the data source, what you can do, you can create a parameter. Okay. Create a parameter with source file name. So if I go to new parameter, and if I say bank one, bank two, so I will load another data set and I will create a value. So I will say bank one. Okay. So this is how I can create. I will select any, and in the current value, what I'm going to do is I let me open my folder. I have a values, I mean data sets in two places. First one is bank full data set, okay, which is in the download folder, and we have one more folder inside a bank, sorry, download as a bank, okay, one more folder as a bank in download folder from that folder. So both the folders we will use, okay, to create a variable. So I will say bank one. From this folder or this parameter going to hold the value of my current data source name with extension, because if we load the file as a text or CSV, oh, dot CSV. So this is what my first parameter. And how we can use this, I will show you. Let me bring this to side and let's say, okay. So first parameter got created. Again, I will go and I will create another parameter. And I will say bank two. Okay, sometime based on the requirement, suppose if you want to change the uh, folder or file, so you can change this file directly. Okay, so what you can do, go to the folder, select the path, and here I am going to use this file name from download folder only, .csv. So we have same file at two locations. And if you want to change the data source, we can see how we can change. Okay, so we have this these two files. Okay, now I will go to the source and I will select one file. Any file I can select. Okay, and let me say bank. Okay, or bank full. I will select this file. Okay, so I have selected a file from download folder. And yes, definitely we may hit this kind of query. We made this kind of transformation, automatic transformation. And now what you need to do, if you want to change the file path from or by using query editor, what you can do, go to the source from applied step, click on this setting icon, okay, or gear icon, whatever you can say, and here in the file path you can select the parameter, okay, and go to the this bank one. So you will not see anything, but if you say, okay, your data will get loaded from bank one parameter. If you want to change this to bank two, what you can do, you can go and say, okay, your data will get loaded from another file. Okay. So, but make sure you are supposed to pick the same file. I mean, the file with same number of columns and same column names. Okay. Then and then it is going to work. Even data type of each of the columns should be same. So this is how we can use parameters in Power BI to filter the data, and we can say to change the data source. Okay, in source. So I think yes, I would like to conclude this video here. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Do not forget to subscribe the channel.